Hi, I'm Nadia Lim. As a cook and nutritionist, I'm passionate about healthy eating and living. In this new series, I travel around New Zealand and discover the origin of our food.
How lucky am I?
I meet the farmers, the growers, and find out where all this fabulous food comes from.
Ooh, I've come across a good bunch here.
And I show you how to turn raw ingredients into something fabulous.
And cream scones.
Did I mention that I love to eat?
Yum.
This week I visit the Nelson and Marlborough regions at the top of the South Island, where I go out to sea for juicy fresh mussels and cook up a spicy coconut and chilli seafood dish with noodles. I visit one of the most environmentally friendly vineyards in New Zealand, sizzle up some pork steaks with black garlic butter and pick some luscious boysenberries to create a spectacular panna cotta dessert.
You guys have no idea how good this is.
The Marlborough Sounds are made up of 4,000 kilometres of sheltered bays and islands. Greenshell mussels grow in these calm, clear waters. They're endemic to New Zealand, making them both unique and delicious. Omega Seafood supplies juicy little neck clams, as well as mussels to China and all over Southeast Asia. It's a family business. Owner Chris Redwood has lived here all his life. He's taking me out to sea to show me a floating mussel farm. We're travelling in style aboard an old whaler made from solid kauri timber. She's been in Chris's family for 50 years. And because it's a family business, Chris's sister-in-law Jo is coming along too.
This is a very cool little boat.
Yes, it was built in 1912 for rhinos whale chasing.
What's its name? Is it a boy or a girl?
They're all girls.
They're all girls.
It's called Bellina.
How long have you lived in this region, Chris?
About 55 years.
How did you get into mussel farming?
Well, we're brought up on a little wee island. That was Forsyth Island, which is about 1,700 acres. The only flat paddock was the sea, so it was the obvious extension.
So it's a real passion of yours, mussel farming?
Yes, it allows you to have a boat. So that's a good excuse, isn't it?
That's right.
Chris's boat may be 100 years old, but she's got plenty of grunt. And we're soon alongside a floating mussel farm. The mussels grow on ropes. We have to get on board a bigger boat so we can get a closer look.
I've never really had raw mussel before, but since this is so fresh, I'm tempted to try a little bit, so I'm just going to...
Good on you.
Wow. That tastes so fresh. It literally just tastes like the sea.
So that's a blue mussel, and they grow on the top 2 metres. They're also filter feeders, and they taste very sweet, and we also process them at our factory.
Yeah.
By the end of the day, we would ship them out by 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and then it could be in the supermarket shelves the next day.
Yeah. Right, and then into our bellies.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Have them for dinner.
That's what we want to see, a quick turnaround.
They look so plump and healthy.
They are incredibly healthy, actually, Nadia. They're real superfood. They've got 3 times the iron of rump steak gram for gram. They're high protein, low fat. They have a lot
All
of
those wonderful omega-3 fatty acids.
nearly as much omega-3 as salmon. That comes out of the mussel.
The Omega Seafood Processing Factory is in Blenheim. 85% of their mussels and clams are exported. Dubai is their biggest market, followed closely by Hong Kong and China, as well as new markets in Southeast Asia. All the seafood is washed and sorted before it goes into a big steam cooker. The steamer locks in all the flavours and dramatically extends shelf life for up to 2 years.
How long, I guess, from the sea onto someone's plate in Hong Kong? What would the length
All
of
up,
time?
I'd say about 8 weeks, so not very long. 6 weeks of travelling time. They go by sea freight. I think it gives everybody a lot of confidence in the quality and food safety in the product.
Absolutely.
All this seafood is making me hungry, so I'm going to cook for some of Jo's friends. The house overlooks Queen Charlotte Sound. The ferry sails right past. The perfect location for a dish straight from the sea.
I'm going to make some Thai-style tom yum mussels and clams using the amazing Omega mussels and clams that we got out from the farm just a bit earlier. So first up, I've got a knob of ginger. You need a couple of cloves of garlic. You can't have Asian food without ginger or garlic. I need a couple of stalks of lemongrass. Lemongrass is one of my favourite ingredients because it smells so delicious. I think it's just a beautiful smell. If I could wear it as perfume, I would. So I need to finely slice the lemongrass. I need a couple of shallots. If you don't have shallots, you could always use red onion, half a red onion. Because I love it hot, I'm going to use a whole red chilli. If you don't like chilli, of course you don't have to add it. If you really like chilli, you could add as many as you like. I'll put my shallots in first. This is pretty amazing to be cooking with a view like this. In goes the lemongrass, the garlic and the ginger. I need a little bit of wine in there. Let the wine bubble away and that will burn off all of the alcohol. And you actually want the wine to reduce down by about half. Now for the tom yum paste. I've got about a tablespoon of tom yum paste, so that in that goes. And now for our delicious omega seafood mussels. So this is the 1 kilo pack, but if you wanted to make less, you could always use the 500 gram pack as well. All those juices got really locked in, so they're full of flavour. That liquor in here tastes like the sea. And now for these gorgeous clams that come from Golden Bay. So now all the clams and the mussels go in. Don't they make a cool sound? Put the lid on. Last off, we'll throw in the coconut milk, a bit of lime juice and the chilies, and then we're done. So the last few ingredients. Now, if you give it a little taste, then you can decide, does it need a little bit more salt? And if it does, you can always use some Lee Kum Kee premium soy sauce to season it with. Got some noodles here, and these are thin egg noodles, but you could use any noodles you've got, like soba noodles or the Shanghai egg noodles. Fresh coriander, just all sprinkled on top. And that's your dish. There's your tom yum style mussels and clams with lots of chili and coriander and lemongrass and the crispy shallots and the noodles. And I'm just going to serve it like this in this big pot because I think it looks beautiful. Here we go. Here are the tom yum Thai style mussels. Nice. I hope you're hungry. Does everyone here like mussels?
Yeah.
Oh, good. And I thought this would be a nice match with the Peter Yeeland Sauvignon Blanc, which is a local wine. So Zoe, would you like some wine?
Marlborough is New Zealand's largest wine-producing region. Green vineyards spread out as far as you can see. Overlooking the ocean in the Awatiri Valley is Yeeland's estate. In just 11 years, the winery's gone from a few holes in a paddock to becoming a major producer, exporting to 65 countries. The Yeeland Sauvignon Blanc won the title of Best in the World. The award's a great tribute to owner Peter Yeeland, who came to winemaking late in life after a pioneering career in the mussel industry and deer farming.
It's nice to meet you.
Likewise, yeah.
Thanks for having me here. It's absolutely amazing. I've just been walking through the vineyards.
Yeah,
you live in paradise.
It's a long walk. It's a big vineyard.
Yeah, it is. It's huge.
I'd like to come for a drive,
Absolutely.
a bit of a tour.
You've got a really special business philosophy and I love it.
Oh, well, it blends in with our ethos, actually. It's think boldly, tread lightly, and never say it can't be done. You know, I came out here in just after 2001, and it was all farmland, and the lovely rolling hills and the vista and the sea right there. You know, I knew that it would make a terrific vineyard. I didn't come here and dig a whole heap of holes and do a lot of testing. You know, I just had a good gut feel. And, you know, fortunately, that's proved right. So we're in a good space and we're producing some terrific wines.
It's Peter's passion for the land that has seen the winery also win numerous environmental awards. From wind-powered turbines to solar panels, Yeeland's is committed to sustainability. Sauvignon Blanc makes up 70% of the vines here, but they now grow 9 different varietals. Plenty of challenges for the winemakers.
Now we're coming into quite an important time where the flowering is going to take place. And then we're really crossing our fingers for some really good dry settled weather. And going forward, the grapes will start developing and growing, accumulating sugar and ripeness and
becoming nice and
wonderful
sweet
flavours.
and-
Exactly.
Tamara has chosen 2 wines for me to try, starting with their award-winning Sauvignon Blanc.
And this comes from an area that is very sheltered, so it's quite
smells
warm,
beautiful.
very aromatic. And what I look for with this parcel of fruit is this wonderful black currant flavour, which sounds a bit strange, black currant
Absolutely get that.
in wine, but we do get it here at Seaview.
Yes.
Our special microclimate does create those flavours.
You can smell it. You can smell it really well.
This one is called a Gruner Veltliner. It's an Austrian variety, and there's not much of it grown here in New Zealand. So Peter was quite lucky to get hold of these plants some 6 years ago. It actually usually has quite a spicy character to it, quite peppery.
So sweeter.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's lower in acidity, a little bit softer, so it comes across as having a bit more sweetness to it.
I'm going to do some cooking, and I've been told to see the Murphy family, who've been garlic growers in the Marlborough region for 3 generations. I'm keen to find out about their new product, black garlic.
This is incredible. You have all this garlic. How big is the place?
This is about 12 hectares, and so we grow about 10 times this again, and that makes us the biggest grower in New Zealand.
Here we are, Nadia. Here's a bulb that's about a month from harvest.
Okay, so it's going to continue to grow over
Yep.
the next month?
It'll grow about that size, about 70 mil. So it'll be quite a big one. If we cut that open, we should be able to see some little baby cloves inside.
Yeah.
There we are,
It's starting to form.
just starting to form.
So in a month's time, what we do is we lift the garlic onto the ground, then we pick it up and take it to our pack house, dry it down, and it's fresh, ready to go. And that's when we start turning some of it into
The black garlic.
We cook it for a month, and it comes out the other end, and it's got a lovely smooth taste, which is very different to what we've got with our fresh product.
Wow, that's black. That's really, really black. And it's all soft and I'm going to try a little bit. Can you just eat it raw like this? You can
Yes.
eat it raw like that? Okay.
Absolutely.
Wow. Gosh, that's so different to raw garlic.
It is, it's very sweet, isn't
Very
it?
sweet, yeah, really sweet. So the roasting must really intensify those flavours.
It does, yeah. Consolidates all the sugars
Delicious.
and the antioxidants.
And it's got a
it's
bit
good
of
for you as well.
smokiness to it as well. I'm making a pork dish, pork steaks with some black garlic butter, and I'll just serve that with some saffron rice. To start the rice off, I've got 2 finely diced shallots. In go the shallots. So in the rice goes. And now for the saffron. So this is going to flavour our rice. I'm quite used to using saffron threads. However, there's a saffron liquid. So it's just saffron threads that have been mixed with distilled water. And this saffron is from Marlborough, so it's local. So in that goes into the rice. And now for some of this black garlic. You just treat it like normal garlic. You know, peel off a bit of the skin and then break open the cloves. And now you need to smash the black garlic. It smashes really easily because it's so soft. I'll put it into my butter. And now all you have to do is mix the black garlic and the butter until they're really well incorporated. And now you need to get some cling film. Just lay a good piece out on your chopping board and spoon your butter straight onto the cling film in a big lump. So wrap the cling film up, twist the ends of the cling film, and you end up with a bit of a sausage shape. I've got these lovely free-range pork rump steaks here, but you could use any cut of pork. I mean, you could use pork Scotch fillet, you could use pork cutlets, anything you can get hold of. I need a little bit of fresh thyme. I'll just put that all over my pork steaks. The great thing about pork is that it can take on so many different types of flavours. So the pan's really nice and hot now. So in go the pork steaks. So into the same pan, throw in your beans and your cherry tomatoes. Chuck in your beans. Squeeze a little bit of lemon juice in there. Toss it all around. Look how juicy those look. So here's our little parcel of black garlic butter. Get some thyme leaves and very finely chop it. And then just very lightly roll the garlic butter in the fresh thyme leaves. So we're ready to plate up now. This rice is going to be really tasty because it's got those fried shallots and the beautiful saffron in it. And now I'll slice some of this lovely pork. Put some slices of the pork on top of the rice. There we go. And now the black garlic butter. So I'm just going to cut a little piece of it here. And we've got another little treat here. I've got some flaky saffron sea salt. There you go, it's done. What a beautiful, colourful dish.
And the perfect match for this dish is a Yealand's Pinot Noir.
It's so cool to think that the grapes that produce this wine grew just behind me. Yum.
Coming up, I'm in berry heaven, and I turn a simple panna cotta into something extraordinary with the help of luscious boysenberries. Big juicy boysenberries, one of my favourite fruits. The luscious berries are like shiny red and black jewels.
Look at that. Isn't it beautiful?
Boysenberries are incredibly tasty and versatile. Ice cream, drinks, jam, yogurt. You can even make boysenberry chewing gum. Wow! And they're incredibly good for you. Dark fruit contains masses of antioxidants, as well as all sorts of vitamins and minerals. 50% of the world's production comes from Nelson, making it the boysenberry capital of the world. Berry Fruit Export New Zealand is the country's biggest exporter. They send the fruit to Europe, North America, as well as Japan and Asia.
Boysenberries were bred by Rudolph Boysen in the USA, in
So
California.
they're actually named after someone.
They are, yeah.
Rudolph Boysen.
He was around about 100 years ago, and he bred this incredible boysenberry. And it's a mixture of blackberry, raspberry and loganberry.
Oh, okay. I never actually knew that. I didn't know. I thought it was a berry by itself. I didn't realise it was a mixture of all those three.
Yes.
In midsummer, giant harvesters work flat out picking the fruit off the bushes. In this orchard, the bushes are well established. They were planted around 30 years ago.
The boysenberry flower goes from this, which is fully open, and becomes pollinated by bees. And then as it develops, it starts to grow. It sort of goes quite sort of raspberry red and looks quite luscious at this point.
Gorgeous colour.
But it's still got probably 3 weeks to go until it's black and ready to pick.
Yep, and it will continue to plumpen up, I guess.
Yes, that's right.
Every bush is picked 7 times as the fruit ripens in the golden sunshine. The harvesters carefully work their way up each row. Boxes of fresh fruit are picked up and taken off to be washed and sorted before being boxed and sent off to be frozen. The Nelson climate also suits apple production. Freshco grows and markets a locally developed red apple variety called Breeze that's very popular in Asia. This apple was discovered by accident, and it's turned out to be very lucky and is particularly popular in China. Another apple that's well loved in Asia, particularly in Thailand and Indonesia, is the Sonia variety. This heart-shaped fruit is exceptionally sweet. Sonia is a cross between Gala and Red Delicious. All the fruit is hand-picked and then taken to a packing shed, where it's washed and then graded. Boxes of fruit are sent in refrigerated containers all over the world.
I'm going to make a wonderfully simple panna cotta flavoured with a bit of vanilla and honey, and then serve it with these really fresh boysenberries. The first ingredient I need is some milk, about 1.5 cups of milk. The same amount of cream. Now I need to heat the milk and the cream up. I'm going to flavour it with some vanilla, so I've got 1 vanilla bean pod here. Now you want to try and get the seeds out of the vanilla bean pod, so get a sharp knife, split down the middle of the vanilla bean, break it apart, and you can see all of those little seeds in there. They kind of rub off on your fingers. And then put that in with the milk and the cream. For some sweetness, I've got some honey, and this is Manuka honey. So you need about 2 to 3 tablespoons, but I think just add a bit and then give it a little bit of a taste, and you can add a bit more honey if you like. Meanwhile, get your gelatin leaves. So these are gelatin leaves. They look like quite strange things. They kind of look like a bit of plastic, I think. I'm using about 3.5 gelatin leaves, which is the perfect amount for 500 mils of milk and cream. So leave the gelatin leaves in the cold water to swell for about 5 to 10 minutes. The gelatin leaves will kind of be a bit slimy and slippery, and that's when they're ready to use. And now for these goodies, now for these fresh boysenberries. I've got some boysenberry juice here, so this is just freshly squeezed boysenberries, nothing else. And this is to marinate the boysenberries in. However, you could actually use a fruit liqueur as well. So you could use something like cassis, which is a blackcurrant liqueur, or you could use framboise, a strawberry liqueur, or you could use a boysenberry liqueur, so anything you like. Now my gelatin leaves are all ready. See, look at this. The gelatin can go straight into the hot milk and cream now. And now we've got to make sure that the gelatin is all dissolved in the milk and the cream. So get a whisk and give it a good whisk for a couple of minutes. Pour the panna cotta mixture carefully into the moulds. And now they're all ready to go into the fridge. So they'll take about 3 hours to set. I've got my panna cotta that I've got out of the fridge. So they've been in there for about 3 hours until they're just set. You can tell that they've been set. So put your panna cotta onto the centre of the plate and then give it a little bit of a shake. Let's try and unmould it. There we go. Oh, perfect. Voila. So to finish off, we've got our beautiful boysenberries from Nelson. And these are just gorgeous as they are. These have just been left in their own syrup. So I'll just put some around the plate. And now for the final part, just a little bit of drizzle of the boysenberry syrup all over the panna cotta. Oh, look at that. Yum. I can't wait to eat this. And that's my really simple honey and vanilla panna cotta with the best boysenberries in the world from Nelson. Oh, yum. You guys have no idea how good this is.